Everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Jurassic World. No, Lego Jurassic World. Let's continue. Moving forward on the story, we're doing Jurassic Park first because that's where the game pointed us. I assume all of this was in the original game, and it's not just DLC. That would be horrible. I should do some research, and eventually I guess I will. Probably several episodes from now. It would make literally no sense that they would have this much content.
You'll have to find another way around. There's been a rock slide. Although I guess you can see that.
Let's see. The voice not matching the lip flaps there, really? Somebody's gonna have a climbing ability. It's gotta be dinosaurs. The large bricks that we thought were gonna have to be destroyed.
You ain't getting through here anytime soon.
By some, like a guy with a shotgun or something. Turned out that that was a Triceratops area. I guess I just go through here.
But I fell and, well, this happened. Come on, cut me down already.
So let's help this guy. So you just hold down the button. No, you tap it? Oh, that seems different than the way I was doing it before.
Well, thank you. Here, let me return the favor. You can use this to bring dinosaurs into the paddock, which is particularly handy if there's a wall you need to smash through. But, don't tell the construction guys I told you that.
So he helped with that. That's the introduction of the worker in peril concept. What is this thing? Ooh, I can have a Triceratops or a Triceratops skeleton. I bet DLC was what we had. Or I could have a custom Triceratops. I guess we'll take the Triceratops skeleton. Again, not a vehicle. Its own character. And we can see we needed it to break this area. Hold down X. Yeah, you do hold down X for that attack. But you tap B to cut things.
They've got me cornered! Somebody!
The Dilapitosaurus spitters. So, dinosaur on dinosaur violence. I suppose the Jurassic series could have turned into a lot of that, and it did a decent job in avoiding that. But there is, of course, dinosaurs fighting dinosaurs, but it doesn't go to such an extreme level that it feels like it's just dog fighting in a different form. Let's see. Here's something I can smash. And what would have been in there? Does this guy have a flashlight?
Come on, you gotta clear this road. Doesn't anyone have a jackhammer?
That is interesting. So one of the 20 red bricks was just found in the second level. Ooh, we can look at all these collectibles. Ooh, in the overworld, there's apparently 20 like picture spots, 10 dinosaurs I need to unlock that are different than the 20 amber pieces, which I think also unlock things, 20 races. That's a lot of stuff. And now Score times 8 is available to buy immediately. So, having just found it, we can save up our studs and be ready to purchase that if we can. Let's see, I don't have the ability to jump that high. That seems almost like a dinosaur would jump that. Would need to jump up there. We still haven't even started the level here. It's It's just open world. Go ahead and break the electricity boxes and break this. It would kind of go against the chaos thought if you could control the dinosaurs enough to turn them into a fighting force for you. That's partially what they suggest and say, yeah, that would never work. In Jurassic World is the thought to make the velociraptors into a military form that would fight against their enemies. Was it really necessary to break everything? I guess. Just so we can move forward and move the story forward. Of course, in the movie, I'm sure none of this actually happened.
Alright, enjoy the show.
This famous double wooden door.
I bet you didn't know this.
Once a dinosaur egg has been fossilized, it'll become hard like rock, but it will retain a structure of its own.
Oh, I finished debugging the phones, but the system's gonna be compiling for 18 to 20 minutes, so some of the minor systems, they might go on and off for a while. Anybody want a soda or something?
So, this guy doesn't look anything like the character
Fences are failing
in the
all over
movie.
park. Security systems are shutting down.
I don't know how you would make a character, a minifig look like
Phones
that
are out
character. Really?
Access main program grid.
You didn't say the magic word.
I wonder if
And it sounds like the...
Sure.
I'm going with him.
It would also be...
Hey, what'd I touch? You didn't touch anything, we stopped.
You feel it?
Sounds like they revoiced that character, is what I'm trying to say. It sucks. But
What is
But
that?
if they revoiced that character, they should have just revoiced everybody, and then it gets into this whole cycle. And I've said particularly some of the things they just cut out of the movie doesn't sound very well, and at least the revoicing, even though it's not familiar, sounds better. It's kind of a catch-22, isn't it? You're not going to be happy either way. There's the guy hiding in the
Where
toilet.
does he think he's going? When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Jeff Bridges had a lot of good lines that they're hitting upon. See, I would love just like a full collection of Jurassic Park Lego minifigs. I'm not sure there's that much you could really sell as far as sets. You make the car, you make the visitor center, and you've pretty much done everything. Now we're getting the rain effects, which is pushing the graphics too high. Again, I have to say it's probably better to just play these games at a lower resolution and a smoother frame rate than it is to bump it up to 1080p. It shouldn't be a problem with my equipment, but it is a problem with their engine. They're using DirectX 11 or DirectX 9, your choice, and I'm using DirectX 11, and it's still just not good enough. And that's not probably DirectX's fault, it's just their engine's fault. It's not designed to handle high resolutions, it's designed to run on 3DS's and Nintendo Wii's, which I think the Wii U goes up to 1080p, but I think the Wii was still doing like 720. And frankly, even the Xbox 360 and maybe even the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, a lot of times will render things at 720 and then run a custom upscaler engine inside the hardware just to make it look upscaled to 1080p. So I can't go in that section. Right now that's free play stuff. It kind of is a stealth game. I mean, you certainly could have stealth mechanics here, trying to avoid T-Rexes and Velociraptors. The thing that they missed here, though, was one of the most obvious scenes in Jurassic Park, where the kids have a glass of water on the cup, and then it goes boom, and you see the boom in the water as it vibrates up and down. They will not get anywhere near that poo, will they? I'm trying to run around it. And they did try to recreate that, and they showed you the glass fall over, but they didn't show the water mechanics, I guess because there's no way to really depict that in Lego form, not at that scale, at least. It turns out, I just heard that water is actually something that doesn't scale when you do miniatures for movies either. So they, like I was watching the original Ghostbusters, well, the 1984 Ghostbusters movie commentary recently, and they said specifically that they had to, they had a miniature with a fire hydrant that was shooting out water, and to miniaturize that they were actually shooting sand out of it, which that kind of makes sense. I'm going counterclockwise and it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. You have to go clockwise. Wow, that's ridiculous. You think they'd program the game engine so it would work either way. Ooh, I just got stepped on by a dinosaur. So I assume we're trying to shock him here. Convince him to go away and leave the cars alone. Clockwise. Ah, it's playing the music.
Hey, hey, hey!
And a big bone pops out. They're not dogs. They don't want to eat bone. They want to eat meat. But it's funny. Let's dig here and see what's going on. I assume we have to rescue both children separately. That's what I guess the indicator at the top of the screen means. Jump here. So we jack up the car out of the mud, and then we pull freer. Where are their parents? That is a good question. It's like, what kind of parents are out there would say you can go to this island full of dinosaurs? It's like, I would wait several. I would never do it. Not having seen the Jurassic Park movies, it's blatantly obvious. It's like, no, I'm never going to let my kids anywhere near this. This park. It's gonna go bad. I don't care if the park has been running for a decade plus. I'd be like, nope. The one day you go is the day it's going to go horrible. Of course, I'm probably just an overprotective style parent if I was if I was a parent. And kids are allowed to go to plenty of other theme parks that are dangerous. Circuses, traveling circuses are not safe, really. The odds are very low that something terrible is going to happen, but they are still not, in my mind, safe. What am I supposed to be doing? Let's see. Because can't jump on this. And then some characters such as this are able to scream and break Lego glass by holding B. Oh, so the girl who's covered in mud now can scream. Okay. Good scream. You can see how that is a concept just directly taken from the Lego Marvel game, where it makes more sense that somebody would have a magical scream ability.
Get rid of the flare!
So we rebuild the front. And apparently the other guy needs to hold it and tap the B button this time. These prompts, while I applaud them for not taking up the whole screen, they are now not explaining what you're supposed to do. Well, that we need something in them. You need a flashing bee on it, or you need a swirl to say go clockwise and only clockwise on the spinning. Just being shown a bee that barely bobs up and down isn't really enough instruction for little kids particularly. Building a toilet paper wall. I don't believe the movie went that way. I don't think anybody directed the T-Rex towards him. He's brushing his teeth with the toilet brush, gross. And then the T-Rex gives this kind of eyebrow wink. She screams again. She does get some good screams out, which, I mean, for a kid, I suppose it's better to get more screen time than it is to say you're just turning me into a screaming, scared person. And frankly, it's all justified. You should be terrified in front of a T-Rex. Completely. And if I remember correctly, she is a pretty strong character. Where I would be afraid if the Jurassic Park movie was made today by the wrong people, they would have made her into a like bratty, self-absorbed teenager that didn't care at all. Spitters. Particularly in the Lego game, I can make her, in my mind, be even more empowered because she can sit here and punch spitters all day. Let's save and continue. There's really two age groups they're covering with these kids in the movie. One is a teenager and one is a pre-teenager kid, basically. You wouldn't want to go much earlier than the boy because then you're talking almost baby. And while you could do a couple of interesting scenes with a baby in Jurassic Park, for the most part, it would just be a hindrance to the story and to the group. And you don't even have to really take my word for the fact that the wrong writers would turn this girl character into a self-absorbed, like, troubled child that is just not super cool like I kind of think this character was. Because when you look at the Telltale game Jurassic Park, which this is a great event for me because I've played both of them. When you look at the Telltale game of Jurassic Park, they do have a girl in there, and she is totally, in some episodes, a nice girl that you want to really relate to, and you're like, oh, she's really young and just having trouble dealing with the divorce that's going on. And then in other episodes, because Telltale does this episodic thing where they have 5 different people write each of the 5 episodes of the game. So in other episodes, she's a full-on childhood delinquent who steals cigarettes from her father and nearly gets killed by a velociraptor because of it. What is she? She is going to lift me up? Interesting. That is very strange. Agile characters can use pink and blue Legos to reach new things. So she's also an agile character. And she just boosted a grown man off its
Here's a little knowledge for
ranged weapons such as whatever that thing is. Apparently somebody's carrying a ranged weapon. She's got like a baseball. Oh, it's a baseball. Was that in the movie? I think it may have been. Man, when I play games like this and they're good, I really do want to go watch the movie.
Coming up.
Timmy does a good role. He is a younger actor, I would say, but he does, I think, a decent job to playing a young kid, because that's kind of all he seems to have been written for. Also, maybe he could have just not delivered in the lives, but he's not just a young kid. He's a young kid that's in this world of dinosaurs, and that would be super cool. It almost gets dangerously down to a kid's movie. Jurassic Park does. It doesn't quite 100% hit that level, but it's pretty close. I'd say maybe it runs maybe 50% a kid's movie and 50% an adult's movie. Whereas Jurassic World, to me, felt like it was somewhere closer to about 80% a kid's movie. There was a character or two and a B story going on that involved a couple of adults in Jurassic World, but the 2 brothers in Jurassic World really were doing almost all of the main plot, and there was some connection to that. So he's not going to be able to do this agility wall. Nice jump system here. I've had in Lego Lord of the Rings points where jumping from point to point was so badly programmed that I couldn't even get it to work. Spent hours on it. Now in the main story playthrough of the game, obviously if they cared at all you wouldn't run into that, but that was very smooth, and I'm hoping it stays that way for the rest of the game. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of extra stuff out here. It feels like the overworld is going to give you maybe 50 extra little things to do, and that's about it. And then I think that might be alright. It might just bounce a little heavy to the main story stuff.
You okay?
Let's throw up.
Oh, it's okay. Just give me a hand. The thing about climbing is you never look down.
Okay.
He immediately looks down.
Oh no. Go.
They're both covered in mud. That's probably not a good decision for wardrobe to have the characters covered in mud for the rest of the movie. It built a Lego thing.
We're back in the car again.
Oh, at least you're out of the tree.
Wow. That's an interesting way for the cutscene to just like skip back to the story of the movie.
Ian?
Why is he looking at his foot?
A chance moving him.
Please, chance it.
Just throw him in the back, drive off.
Must go faster.
So the last part of this is just going to be driving. We can tell because our True Survivor bar is almost full, and this isn't terrible. Looks like you actually do need to avoid getting hit by him, although it's not like you would die or anything. You can see at the top left we have 4 silver hearts, which tells me that it would just let me. I couldn't take damage even if I tried. See, it hits me, but nothing happens. No hearts are lost or anything. Made it to true survival. There's almost certainly a collectible or 2 hidden there. Yep, there's one I just missed with the amber. It's not a loop, so you only get 1 chance at the collectibles. Just try to run the T-Rex off the road because that'll work. Now remember, they said that the T-Rex was clocked at 32 miles per hour. These are Jeeps. Jeeps can go at least 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. The road conditions maybe limit your speed, but going over 32, not a problem. Not a problem at all. You could get to 0 to 32 in probably 6 or 7 seconds.
For a lovely weekend.
We will never find the command that Raptor used. He's covered his tracks far too well.
You didn't say the magic word.
Please!
And he's just screaming, please.
Shutting down the entire system is the only way to wipe out everything that he did.
This is a great argument against having the right structure in your IT department. Having like one guy have all the control of the computer system is crazy.
The shutdown
Because stuff like this does happen in the real world.
Power back on in the entire park.
Just to be safe, I want everybody in the emergency bunker until Mr. Arnold returns and the whole system's up and running again.
Of course, it's just a contrivance to turn the power off. And they call them nerdy. That's
Should have been there by now.
too on the nose. I'm really glad we're getting the whole movie.
Oh, nice boy. What do you want? What do you want? You want food?
I don't think they spit blue spit. I thought they spit like green spit. And there's the canister of shaving gel that has the embryos in it. So we're getting up to 267,000 studs. I don't really need to worry too much about that right now, but it's nice to know we're at least going to be somewhere close to 1 million, which I imagine score times 2 is 1 million. So if we could find that, that would be great. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think the Ian character's attitude works. It works well with the actor, but it doesn't work well with the character. It's like, if Ian was the bad guy, it would make more sense for his whole cocky attitude and all of that. But since he's basically a good guy, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.